Hey everybody, today is going to be more of a rambling kind of day. I just kind of want to get some of my thoughts out and such because there has been some shit going on that I do not agree with, like including the whole thing that happened between the conservatives and SJWs or whatever you want to call them, that huge ass clash of bullshittery. As you guys probably know, there was some major controversy with it simply on the basis that there was an issue. The police were not getting involved, and they were not getting involved while people were asking why. The police there, they obviously wanted to. Uh, you know, it seemed like they wanted to at at the very least, but they didn't get to. It was more of a hey, my boss said I couldn't, so we can't. Which was stupid as fuck. And the opposing side, that we had the conservatives for one side, and the other side was what is it? Antifa, Antifa, whatever. Anti-fascist is what they pretty much were down to, calling us fascist while basically beating being fascist. Um, so it's been going on. It's been crazy, and it's dumb. There isn't any Nazis in the right wings. There isn't any fascists in the right wings. Well, I say any, but there probably is some, just like there are some over on the left hand side as well. Um, People don't realize that fascists and conservatives don't really get along. They do support the rights of the country, but in a completely different way. Fascists and that such, Nazis as well, wanted to have a more equilibrium across the board, more of a communism sort of thing going on, but in a way that you had to work. Uh, Non workers didn't get to, and such. These people that are going out and are in support of Trump are not, in fact, fascists. They just aren't. They aren't even Nazis. They're just going out and being in support of somebody. That's it. Um, they see as what Trump is doing is all right, and some of the things I can see why. Some of the things I can see why not. Like me personally, I think attacking the military base that supposedly dropped the chemical warheads or chemical bombs onto the Syrian people was a good step in the right direction to show that we are not a weak country and we will not take bullshit from other countries, such as Syria or even Russia. We're not going to stand for that any longer. And that is something that we need to do. But what happened in this, I just don't understand why. Why does this battle have to go on and then it has to get physical and then that side wants to claim that um sorry, that side, that the left side wants to claim that it's the right side invoking violence, when in fact they're not invoking violence. You might think that they are being racist or whatever, but that is not invoking violence. That is stating an opinion or facts in some cases. Some cases they are just stating literal facts, statistics to show you what is and what isn't there. Um, and I will try to pull up some footage here, possibly, of what I am talking about. I watch Sargon, I watch Irate Bear, and I watch quite a few channels, and they all talk about this kind of crap, and it's kind of amazing because why not? Um, let's just look up latest statistics of black crime. So there has been an increase in violent crime, but a decrease in property crime lately, which is kind of insane. But let's see. Let's add a display and okay. So what we're seeing here, just shrink me down. Whoops, wrong one. I was meaning to shrink this down. So what we are seeing here is our statistics from FBI.gov. And this is what we have right here. The estimated number of murders in the nation was 15,000 in 2015. 90,000 rapes estimated. That, and these are estimated, which is pretty fucking crazy. And 327,000 robberies. Firearms were used in 71.5% of the nation's murders. Probably because it's the easiest weapon of choice, and a lot of people would still use this even if it's not available. Take Chicago, for example. Chicago has the number one murder capital of the USA, and most of them are done with guns, even though guns are outlawed in Chicago. Remember, it's not the weapon that does that, it's the people. It doesn't matter who it is. And it doesn't matter how it is. That's how it is. It just happens. Um, but we have a little chart here, kind of defines how it is. In addition to national crime data, blah, 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 federal crime data, that is a one thing. So I'm showing you that simply on the basis that uh, we need to kind of show where we are getting this information from, why we are saying certain things. And I'm not saying that black people by any means are bad. I'm dating a black man. Well, not dating, actually, I'm engaged. My bads. Whoops. Still new to it. But you got to look at the statistics. You got to see how it's going. We want to fix these problems, and it's kind of uh, it's kind of crazy, and do 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 do. Let's go and look. Well, all right. Let's go and look at this. So there's another thing of people saying, "Oh, blacks are less likely to be on welfare." All right. So I found the statistics that somebody posted to me at one point, actually. And it's showing the number of people on welfare, which is 110 million, and 41 million are on food stamps, and unemployment insurance, 10 million. 35% are on welfare of the total US population. Now, of that 35%, this is not total population down here. This is 35% right here. Of the 35%, so this is the same number, which is this 110 million. 110 million. 38.8% of this 110 million are on welfare. 39.8% of this 110 million are on welfare. And it makes a note right here showing you exactly what it is. And I'm stating this because these are the facts. And now we already know that black population is significantly lower than white population. So a black person is statistically more likely to be on welfare than a white person, even though the percentages of the percentages of welfare recipients are about the same. And a lot of people don't grasp their head around this. Yes, this is saying 38.8% are white, but this is not saying 38.8% of the white population is on it. This is saying of the people on welfare. As saying here, many people confuse these statistics. This does not mean that 38.8% of all white Americans and 39.8% of all black Americans are on welfare. It means that 39.8% of all the actual welfare recipients are black, and 38.8% of all the welfare recipients are white. Now, there is the stipulation that immigrants are taking away from the welfare and taking from the state, which is technically false. Well, technically true, if you think about it. Yes, there are going to be immigrants on the welfare system, whether they are white, black, Hispanic, Asian, anything. But the percentages are quite a significant lower. It is kind of surprising, though, that 15% or almost 16% um, are on of the welfare recipients are indeed Hispanic, considering their numbers are even lower than African American. Asian is even lower in population, and that. Now these three are following the law and code of saying, hey, the less amount of that population, the less would be actually on that. Because you would say, oh, about 20% of each population would be on welfare. Meaning, as the population gets lower compared to the relative overall population, their numbers would also be lower. The only one that's different is this one. This does not follow that rule of thumb, saying the less amount of people that are black in the population, meaning the less amount of the recipients should be black. This doesn't follow it, it goes in the opposite direction, which isn't right. It's weird. It's an odd thing. And yes, I'm getting this from lowincome.org. I'm getting this from a .org website. They are usually governed by the government in some sort of way, so I can probably trust this information as being true. I don't know how else to look it up because I will show you cheatsheet.com.edu. I can look, let's go look at this, but I'm not sure if it actually breaks it down. And it doesn't seem like it's going to do that. Not in a simplistic form. I'll go back and read that over and come back to you guys later, probably on just a regular post. But I am going to go by this one, the .org, since we can also go to this one. 1 in 12 months and okay, so Damn, 50% are at 37 and 48 months. But this is 2012. I don't know what year that .org one is. Um, but the point, going back to this, is simple. Us conservatives and us people that are against this hate speech shit that you guys want to spew is we're using facts. We try to use as many facts as possible to show and to tell you guys, hey, this is why we think this, but you guys still spew on saying misogyny and whatever shit. And it's just simply not true. We base our shit off of that. We say that, yes, the black community does need to get reamped, not because they're black, but because there's clearly a problem. Just by the amount of people on welfare alone, there's clearly a problem. They should have the lower percentage. Just because they have a lower percentage of the population. Even if 100% of the people in the US were on welfare, their percent should be lower on that, since 100% of the population, and they only make up, I'm going to look it up. Let's see, US population by race, 2017. Let's do it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Well, let's look it up. So we can see right here. We got the United States. 61% are white. 12% are black. 18% are Hispanic. 6% Asian. 1% American Indian, Alaskan Indian, and such. Let's see if this gives us a little better view. It does not. Anyway, so I was wrong. Actually, Hispanics should have a higher percentage than even blacks, considering. But if this shows you something, that means that there is such a unlikely chance that white people will be on welfare compared to blacks, simply because their numbers outweigh the black community, yet the black community has a much higher amount on welfare. And I can't say shit because I'm actually on free free medical right now through the government, thankfully, because I don't make enough to get insurance. So I thankfully can apparently don't make enough, so I am on that. I didn't get qualified for food stamps, but that's okay. But still, you're looking at this, and Maine doesn't have a percentage for black. Um, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, so what we're looking at is the black population is very, very small. But not only do they make up the most amount of crime in USA, about 50%, they make up the majority of the people on welfare as well. So I can probably look this up as too. Let's do calculator. So, whoops. So it was 110 million. Or wait, minus what is it? Or times 39.9%. What the hell? That's not what I want. Let's just do that. 110 million minus 39.9%. Where the fuck? Whoops. You know what? I got an easier way. I don't know how to use this fucking thing, apparently. This isn't no scientific calculator. Huh, this has a lot of shit on there. Anyway, let's do 110 million. My bad. Minus 0.399. No, divide. God damn it. 110 million divided by 0.399%. So, that's how many people are on there. And now let's look. Like 383. What the hell? No. Divided by 0.338%. So 40,000 versus 37,000. That doesn't seem right, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that doesn't seem right at all. Divided by 39.9%. Jesus. I don't like this one. The 43 million versus 42 million. It's only a 1 million difference, but if you look at it, that would be way different. So let's do, if it was based off of this, if this, if our population was 110 million, I'm going to show you why this would be ridiculous. Is, why did I do that? Divided by 12%. That's how many black people would be on healthcare if we went by the percentage of the United States, or welfare by the percentage of the United States. And let's look at it like this. That's how many white people would be on it if it went by the percentage. And we still had 110 million. That's what we're going for. That's what that's what I'm saying is you can't look at it as literally that we're being racist or anything. It's just the percentage of black people is so small. But yet they take up the majority of the crime, the ghettos, the welfare, and we keep saying that yes, we need to get some changes in there, and I say start with education. Get them better schooling, better reasons to go. Get the gangs out of there. Make it so that way there is profit in going into school rather than going onto the gang. They 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 make up the majority of our ghettos because they don't have a way to get out. And I'm saying that because the statistics are right there. I'm not sitting here and saying that this is the reason why just because I'm racist, because I'm not. It's just there. Look at it. It sucks. This shit sucks. And I want to see this. I want to see this percentage and the welfare 12%, 18%, 6%, 61%. I want to see that because it reflects our population. That's how it should be. If our population is 61% white, 60 roughly 60%, 61% should be on welfare. The total recipients of welfare should be white. 12% should be black. 18 should be Hispanic. 6% Asian. Just because that's how our population is. That's how we're dispersed out. So if you want to keep it equal, you want to keep it like that, that's how you got to go about it. You want to try to make it so this number is the number of your goal right now to get off of welfare. So you take that 39% and you drop it down to 12. And how do you do that? It's by getting them out of welfare, by getting them into a situation where they're not in it anymore. And then we won't have a fucking issue of like what happened at the Berkeley or whatever that fucking place is where the two clashes happened, because right now there's such tension between the two sides, and it involves around race and gay rights and trans rights, and I'm just sitting over here like, what the fuck? Gays make up a fucking tiny percentage of the US population. I'm part of that population. And yet I'm sitting here like, well, fucking who cares? We have the same amount of rights now. I'm not trying to get more. I'm trying to get the same. And that I achieved that. I can get married now. I have the same rights. My boyfriend who is black has the same rights as I do. We have the same privileges. We have the same rights. It comes down to the fact that we're here. And I hate to say it, but yes, police discriminate because of race quite often, simply because you are more likely to be a criminal if you are black, simply because 50% of the crime. Uh, and let's look at it. Crime statistics by race. Non-Hispanic blacks accounted for 39.9% of the jail population. Non-Hispanic whites, 34%. And Hispanics of any race, I don't give a shit about that one. I'm not really sure why. Do. God damn it, where was that statistic? I can't remember. Anyway, it's been brought up before where 50% of all crime is committed by black people. And whether that is true or not, it's still a high number. We should look into it to see. Camera, could you stop? No? You're having issues? Okay. I don't know how to fix that one. Anyway, it fixed itself. Anyway, I mean, shit. Even if it's over 12%, it's high. Because they make up 12% of our population. It should be around 12% of all crime is committed by them, 61% by whites, 18 by Hispanics. Should go by that. Because that's what our population is, and it should reflect it back onto every aspect of things like this. Yet it doesn't. And it sucks. And we need to solve this problem, and I'm not sure how. Besides trying to make better opportunities for people of color. Let's do that. This is Harles Bentley, signing off. See ya.